We actually invented a time machine that got David to Alaska in record time. But while he's in flux, we still need to have the ability to collaborate. So I'm going to move over to Communicator. And we see that Dan is offline. And I've gone ahead and already tagged him for status changes and alerts. So what does that give me? That gives me an audio and visual clue of when his status changes. So that's useful for not only when he goes from online to offline, but also from available to do not disturb or busy. Because again, it's giving me this indication of his ability to communicate, and that's what we call presence. Presence is the ability to relate how you are able to communicate. So right here, I've already had Communicator open. There's certain events within the Microsoft stack that will make presence change automatically. So we have this integration with SharePoint. We have this integration with Exchange. Outlook has the ability to send information through all the users to pull information about scheduling. Right now, I have the ability to change my own presence, things that I want to have displayed about my ability to communicate. So if I'm in a meeting or a particular phone call, I have the ability to say, do not disturb. Now, only people who have specific rights will be able to make telephony calls to me. They'll only be certain people that will be able to instant message me. Presence is customizable, though. Right here, I have some custom presence. My own manager loves it when I set the do not disturb for interviewing for a new position. Within presence, though, you have the ability to let people know where you are. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and create a custom presence. I am in Washington State. So what happens when people mouse over another person's presence? They will be granted information about them. You can, however, control how much information is shown to other people. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Dan. Now, Dan actually has apparently reached Alaska, and I was given a visual indication of that. But I'm going to take a look at Cassie and see how much information she can watch or look at me. So I'm going to go down and change her level of access. By default, it's sent to company. Company contacts can see work contact information, plus basic scheduling availability. So again, they're looking at information that's set in Exchange. If I wanted to give her a little bit more information, I could give her the personal contact information. That basically means that most information within Active Directory is available to her, including my home and mobile phone numbers. So I'm going to change my status back to available so I can continue contacting people. I'm going to go ahead and continue collaborating with David. So I see that he's now available. Hi, David. How are you? It's cold here in Alaska. Yes, it certainly is. You have a moment for a quick call? Sure. So right now, I don't necessarily need to know nor care where David is. I happen to know he's in Alaska, but that doesn't necessarily matter. As long as his information is within Active Directory, I have the ability to communicate with David. I don't need to know his cell phone number. I don't need to know his email address. As long as his information is within Active Directory, I have the ability to communicate with him. As long as I have a webcam and Communicator, I have the ability to start up a web sharing session or a web call. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Hey, David, how are you?
Hey, Tom, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing excellent. Hey, I want to continue talking about that proposal, but I can't seem to find it. Is there anything you can do to help me out with that?
Yeah, I've actually got the SharePoint site open here. Let me share out my desktop, and I'll show you exactly where it is.
Yeah, that'd be great. So I'm going to go ahead and accept his invitation to share his desktop. And he's watching me, And there's a SharePoint site.
So Tom, here on the SharePoint site, under the RFP section is where the document is. Let me go ahead and open it here and show it to you real quick.
Okay.
So here's our proposal. You can see there's quite a few sections that we still have to fill out.
You know, why don't we start working on that right away?